The Tech is very proud to present the inaugural Laureate Impact Award to Khan Academy. Here to accept the award and tell us about the arc of the past 5 years since he last appeared on our stage is Nadia's tutor, Sal Khan.
No, it's very exciting to be here. It's amazing, actually even seeing some of those pictures. You go to a lot of award shows or you see awards being given and you say, oh, that's nice, they're recognizing folks who are doing something. But what you often don't appreciate, and I think this is especially at the stage that a lot of the laureates are at, that it's actually making a big difference in what they're doing. You heard the story. I started tutoring my cousins, and soon word got around the family that free tutoring was going on. So I was tutoring a lot of cousins. Then I did the videos, and it's put them on YouTube, and it soon became clear that people who were not my cousins were watching. And that's just started getting a lot of more and more traction. But as y'all also might know, my day job, I had a day job. It was an analyst at a hedge fund. My boss is actually here right now. I now don't feel bad about the videos that I was doing when he wasn't looking. But slowly but surely, you had the traffic count going higher and higher and higher. And it was around fall of 2009 that it really felt like this Khan Academy thing was something. There was about 100,000 people who were using it every month. I was getting letters from people all over the planet. And my wife, who's here, she knows, there was a period, summer of 2009, where almost every weekend, especially if it was a bad week in the market, I would contemplate, maybe I should do this Khan Academy thing. Maybe I should focus on turning this into a real social institution. And it was a hard thing to do. Our son had just been born. We had to move into a kind of a larger house. We had more expenses. And I was right on the fence. And it was really, and I don't know if the folks at the Tech Awards know this, it was the day that I got the notification that I would be a laureate that I said, okay, this is a message. This is telling me that I should do this for real. And so it was literally that evening that I told Rob, who's here, I love this firm, but I think I'm going to try to turn this into a real organization. And it was here at the Tech Awards that it was really the first time that it really felt like this effort was being recognized. And it's been an incredible ride since then. 5 years ago, almost exactly today, about 100,000 people were using Khan Academy on a regular basis. This past year, it's been 100 million. When it was 5 years ago, it was literally me operating out of a walk-in closet, living off of savings. Now we're a team of 80 full-time folks. We have tons of supporters, hundreds of supporters, thousands of volunteers who are helping us spread the work of Khan Academy around the world. And what's exciting now, our mission has always been a free world-class education for anyone, anywhere. But for a long time, it was a free world-class education for those who could speak English and had access. But now we're at a new stage of the organization where we're actually internationalizing and localizing and bringing it to the world. And to get a taste of what that feels like, I'll show you this montage of videos.
Me comí 2 cuartos de pizza.
L'hypoténuse commune.
Or
7, 13, 15.
और मैं इस हाथ से इस ब्लॉक को धकेलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ इस डायरेक्शन में.
توجد قطعتين من معدن النحاس والزنك.
R به توان 2 ضرب داره.
הגיעה הנקודה שבה שוק הסיום של הזווית חותכת את מעגל היחידה.
Ili muweze kuelewa na kuweza.
Into yokuqala kufuneka siyazi kukuba kubani.
16 bölü 16 1'e eşittir.
Muitas e muitas outras coisas importantes.
And the thought experiment that I now always tell the team at Khan Academy is we're clearly in a special time of history, whatever you want to call it. The information revolution is clearly an inflection point. And frankly, all of us in Silicon Valley, we're at the center of it. And anytime you're in one of these inflection points, there's new opportunities, but there's also a whole new series of problems. But there's this sense that, well, maybe new institutions can emerge to take advantage of the new opportunities to solve the new problems. And the thought experiment that I always challenge people with is, imagine if you were to time travel back to Western Europe 400 years ago. Even then, it was one of the more literate parts of the world. About 20% of men and about 10% of women could read. And I suspect that if you asked someone back then, what percentage of who could read, say a member of the clergy, what percentage of the population do you think is capable of reading, if you had the ideal education system, I suspect they would say, oh, maybe 40, 50% in an ideal world. Well, you now fast forward 400 years, and we now know that's wildly pessimistic. And so I like to ask, what type of blinders do we have on today? If I were to ask y'all, what percentage of the population do you think is capable of understanding quantum physics? You might say, okay, maybe 5 or 10% if you have a great education system. What percentage of the population is capable of contributing to cancer research? You might say, okay, maybe 5 or 10% if you have a really great education system. But what if the real answer is 80% or 90% or 100%? What would that do for the pace of civilization, the solutions that we could create for all of us? And so personally, I think it's a fairly exciting time to live, because I'm pretty optimistic. It's not going to happen overnight, but over the next 5, 10, 15, 50 years, I think you're going to see that this thing called education, this thing that has historically been scarce, historically been expensive, and it's always been the key determiner between the haves and the have-nots, it's going to change. It's going to become a lot more like clean drinking water or electricity, and just a fundamental human right. Thank you.